I'm Gannon, and I'm approaching the end of my time here. And I would like to tell people, specifically the class of 25, about my relationship with God and how my relationship with Him has helped guide me and aid me throughout my entire life. When I first moved to Arizona, when I was a young boy, I was scared and worried about all of life's different possibilities that were presenting themselves right before me. I wasn't confident in my abilities to make any new friends, and I thought that I was going to be left behind or left out. I was scared, terrified even. Honestly, I questioned myself. Was I strong enough? Smart enough? Was I going to be able to make new friends? Was I faithful enough? While in this fear, I looked towards God and thought about what I've been given through confirmation. Courage. I've been given courage. Not the absence of fear, but the power to walk through fear. The courage didn't make my days any easier, but it made them possible. I learned that the courage that God had given me wasn't just for being brave in major heroic moments, but for everyday kindness and simply standing tall in new places. If I weren't given this courage here, I would have never met some of the people whom I hold dear, and my entire life would be different in every conceivable way. When you're faced with fear, don't ask for the strength to simply make it through the challenges of life, but ask for the confidence to love through it, to live like Jesus would like us. There was another time where I was about 30, and I deeply hurt a close friend of mine. His name's John. We've been friends since high school, since we were juniors, and we've done a lot together throughout our lives. And he really was he's a great guy, the kind of guy you could call when your car is broken down at 2 a.m. And we've lived throughout our lives as good friends, but of course we'd taken different paths. He'd focused more on his job and work when I focused more on family and my faith and those around me. And since we've driven apart, we stopped talking as often, but when we did, it was still solid. But during a hard season of my life, a time where I was burnt out and frustrated, I made a huge mistake. I was with a group of friends, both a combination of mine and John's, and I told the group a deep personal secret about him. I told him about when he was younger, and he had a lot of issues with his abusive father. And of course, I meant it as a joke, and I was just trying to be funny. And after this, the words left my mouth. I knew I messed up. I crossed a line. After this, John didn't say anything right away, but a few days later, I got a short text from him. And all it said was, "That wasn't okay." Then silence. Nothing. We didn't speak for weeks. I didn't reach out. I was embarrassed and ashamed, and a part of me just wanted to ignore all of this. When I did try to ignore it, I just felt worse and worse every day. Just about 2-3-ish weeks after I received the text from John saying that nothing was okay, I thought about reconciliation, and at this point in my life, I drifted from God. I spent more time just focusing on my family and the people around me, but not who gave them to me. But I knew He was there for me when I needed Him, and I needed Him now. I thought of reconciliation not as something I've done in church, but as the grace about humbling myself and seeking healing, telling the truth even when it isn't comfortable. We took time, John and I, but we did speak. I apologized for everything I said, and understood where I'd gone wrong. Following this, in the next few months, we slowly rebuilt our friendship, and the grace of reconciling with others, it helped me. It saved me, or saved our friendship, I suppose. Helped me lean towards Christ and forgive myself, and help John forgive me. Without this grace, I would have lost the best friendship I've ever made. And I was led toward Christ, and I was taught to forgive myself for what I've done. And without this friendship and the ability to reconcile with others, I'd be a much lonelier and sadder man. So what I want you to take away is that, remember, real love, real friendship requires humility in the knowledge that God's grace will always give you the strength to take the first step in the right direction. And the last part of my talk to you kids is about another time when I was a little bit older in my life. I was a man. I was 53 to be specific, and I lost my job unexpectedly. There was still a lot of people being put off at the time, but I was unsure of what came next, and I was ashamed. I felt like I'd failed. In this dark moment, my wife, my partner, my love became a mirror of God's love. She didn't just comfort me, she reminded me of who I was. She said to me that we're in this together, and you don't have to carry this alone. Here, the grace of my family, the grace of my kids, the grace of family was shown to me. And my marriage and the family I've raised wasn't just a romance, but it was a bond, a divine bond. My family's strength had lifted me, and their faith had become my own. Without the grace of family, I would have spiraled into a deep and dark hole, but with their help, I found my way forward again. And my wisdom to you is that relationships aren't always perfect, but when they're grounded in faith and grounded in God, and you both live a life directed towards God, they become sacred, and they build your life with those who reflect God's love towards you.